Madeline Grimes from Salon has written this piece about Facebook and how Facebook has become a, quote, disaster show. It's become a place where we see snippets of people's lives and we judge ourselves based on what our friends are doing. So of course you have the friends that are the overachievers, people who brag about their successes in work or their successes in their marriage, having new children. And then there are the people that you aren't necessarily friends with, but you recognize them from middle school or high school. You decided to friend them anyway, and their lives are a complete and utter mess based on what they're posting, and those are the people that make you feel better about yourselves. Now, Samantha and I were talking about this a little bit during the break, and she's like, oh my God, that is absolutely true. And you kind of find yourself, you know, first of all, I hate friending people that I don't communicate with regularly. It's like the worst thing because I don't want people knowing what's going on in my personal life, and I don't want to judge what's going on in their lives. But at the same time, I feel like it's kind of human nature because we are competitive beings. So you do see other people, you do see what they're doing, and you can't help but compare yourself.
This is a whole new social phenomenon. We never had to deal with this. This generation has to deal with so much more than the previous generations, and the fact that you are in your face being compared to your peers. So yeah, if you're having a shitty day and your peer is off in paradise or celebrating their marriage and you're waiting for your boyfriend to propose to you, you can feel even more like shit. And on the flip side, if you're having a shitty day and someone else is having a shitty day, you feel better. Misery enjoys company. But what's really interesting about this is the author brings up a really interesting point in the fact that we do, especially with some of the friends that were, I say friends loosely because like you said, it's somebody that you knew from middle school, where it's just these snippets of their life. And even with your own friends, it's almost an edited version of a more glamorized
of what the reality is.
Version of their life. So it makes it even more difficult. And I think Facebook would be really interesting. I'm sure there's statistics and studies that can lend proof to just how much does Facebook cause anxiety, how much does Facebook cause depression, because a lot of people are stuck comparing themselves to these unrealistic edited versions of their friends.
Since we don't have those studies right now,
we've talked about one before.
Oh, really? Okay,
yeah,
that's interesting.
I don't remember the exact numbers, but it was about depression. It was that people who are constantly on social media tend to be more depressed.
Right.
That's really interesting.
Because they're comparing themselves to fake versions of real lives.
Absolutely.
There are a couple things here. So, like, I think it's one thing where people have to post photos of their vacations or whatever. And so you're seeing their life, as you said, as a more glamorous version. And how can you compare to the fake thing that they're showing you?
Right.
That's one thing. And that's, I think that I probably do that too. If I'm having a good day or if I watch a movie that's really good, I'll say something about it. And I don't often update, hey, I just did nothing for 3 hours. Or I slept way too late, I have a shit life. Like I don't post that.
On
so
the
that's
opposite
true.
side, people do.
There are people
we have to talk about that.
Yes,
I can't stand those people.
Okay, yes.
Constantly
I have a few of those people on my Facebook account. And it's, first of all, I've already hid them from my feed because I don't want to read about how depressed they are and how much life sucks. But you have like this culture of oversharing now because of social media, where people don't just post about their ham sandwiches anymore. They post about like, something as serious as I had a miscarriage yesterday, I'm very depressed, and stuff like that.
You're absolutely right.
And it's unbelievable, right?
It's unbelievable what people are sharing on Facebook nowadays. And the author brought up an interesting point at the end where Paula supposedly, posts all this stuff about her husband being in prison and whatnot, and he was curious to the fact that was she posting this either to get attention or was she posting it because she just didn't care what other people thought? It's to get attention.
Right.
It's always to get attention. If you don't care what people think, you're not really going to post anything. It's 100% to get attention, and I can't stand it.
I don't disagree with that. Look, I don't know if the cause is nature or nurture, and I'm not going to go into details because I haven't thought about it enough. I think that men and women approach this very differently.
I'm sure.
In terms of like where you were talking about like getting like a good feeling because they have drama or something.
Wait, what do you mean
Maybe
a good feeling?
I do. Well, you're saying you feel better when they're like you're taking something, some sort of.
Not always. I'm just being honest that there are those days where you feel really crap.
I'm not judging you. This is a place of compassion.
Non-judgment. Okay.
I do think that men and women use social media differently and being able to look into someone's life is very different.
Men are better evolved, so they probably don't, focus on the petty
I
stuff,
don't
right?
know
It's only
about that.
women.
Maybe men are so emotionally deadened that they don't know that they can get some good feelings.
But,
I don't
okay.
know. But I do think it's different. I'm not saying whether it's
What's
better or
your
worse.
opinion on, though, when you see one of your Facebook friends continually posting, oh, I got in a car accident today, or oh, this is going on to me, woe is me, woe is me, woe is me, and
They're
all
hidden.
they do is focus on, they're hidden?
Yeah, they have to
Okay.
be pretty damn attractive to not be hidden at that
Oh
point.
my gosh, wow.
They have to go on beach trips constantly to not be hidden by that point.